The next person is John Santiago. You have 3 minutes, and in 1 minute left, you will get a notice saying that you have 1 minute left. Please state your name and address, and thank you.
How you doing? My name is John Santiago from 104 Squire Street. The last time I was here, I went over my 3-minute mark. And if that made you uncomfortable, good. Can you imagine how I feel with a federal agent using my name and committing perjury in the largest defamation trial in U.S. history and having everyone remain silent, including the entire media apparatus? Before I was talking about affiliations, and I had brought up Senator of Connecticut and Skull and Bonesman Prescott Bush, and how he and other Skull and Bonesman alumni funded Hitler. But I didn't get into finish talking about how after he funded Hitler, we then had, as a country, 2 presidents by the name of George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, which were from the same family and were also Skull and Bonesmen. Let's talk about how in 2004, the Skull and Bones had me fooled when I was a blinded Democrat and didn't know anything about affiliations. Then, because both George W. Bush and John Kerry, Republicans and Democrat, were both Skull and Bonesmen. Go figure, huh? So we have to address the lies taught to our children. And I do have a lot of information I could bring up, like President Lincoln mentioning a species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mounds of America in his 1848 Niagara Falls speech, but we'll focus on this for now. As I mentioned, the Rothschilds funded the Confederacy, you know, the side that was pro-slavery. I find it more than a coincidence that years later, the same family also helped fund the civil rights movement. And I'm not talking about the Jews, I'm talking about the most influential Ashkenazi Jewish family in the history of the world that brags about creating what we now know as the State of Israel. And billions of our tax dollars go to Israel, just like they're going to Ukraine right now, uselessly, before taking care of the American people. Let's talk about how Martin Luther King's family won the civil court case proving that Memphis police officer Frank Strouser shot Martin Luther King, and King did not die on that balcony but was transported to a hospital where he would then be spit on and suffocated by Dr. Dan Breen. This case was in 1999. Are schools still teaching that James Earl Ray shot and killed King? Why does the media cherry pick which civil cases they choose to cover because the Sandy Hook civil case sure is making rounds? I didn't hear a peep about the MLK civil case in 1999. More lies being taught are silent lies. Like on Wikipedia, it doesn't say a peep about Confederate General Lee or Union General Grant, both being Freemasons, both generals of the Civil War. I have Freemasons admitting they are firing the first shots and the last shots of the Civil War with names and lodge numbers. Have you heard about the Gettysburg Monument, Friend to a Friend, where a Freemason Union soldier of the North helping a wounded Freemason Confederate soldier of the South? Did you know that Confederate General Lee's father was a trusted aide to George Washington and married his granddaughter? You know, the Freemason sitting right above your head? I know you like to talk about your budgets here, but the children deserve the truth, okay? Affiliations matter. Does anyone have anything to say while there's still some time left?
Thank you. May I have Joanne Miller, please? Joanne Miller?